Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our annual Business of the Year Awards ceremony. This year's recipient has turned around a business over the previous 2 years and is now in the top earners of small to medium-sized businesses in the country, which means they net at least $365,000 per year. She has agreed to share with us how she did this and how we too can do it. Please welcome Sarah Johnson.
Hello everyone. I am very happy to get this award and to share with you the journey that brought me here today. I have prepared a slideshow presentation to illustrate my story. As many of you may know, 2 years ago, I was a recently divorced mom with a 1-year-old son when my father passed away. He left his business, a small manufacturing plant in his 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, to my brother and me, since he and my mother divorced many years ago and she remarried. My brother Sam had started his own business, a small manufacturing plant, just like my dad's 2 years before my dad died. So I thought that my brother Sam would naturally want the other business. Strangely, he told me that he would prefer to get the house and for me to get the business. My brother said he was not in the position to run both, so he preferred getting the house. I found out later that he wanted to refinance the house to get money for his business. I needed to increase my income to support myself and my son, so I took over my dad's business. My brother and I worked in the business for many years during the summers. I thought I could do a good job running it. So when my dad died, I found myself diving into the business with full vigor and enthusiasm, since I wanted to have a fresh start, and I had big dreams for me and my son. I soon discovered that the business was barely surviving, that the business's credit lines were maxed out, and my dad was behind in paying his vendors. My brother confided in me that the 2 years he had managed his shop, that the conditions were the same, and he also barely survived. I found that there was chaos everywhere. Betty the bookkeeper was in charge of the books, including the payroll, accounts receivable, accounts payable, and many other odd jobs. She, however, was not very helpful in giving accurate numbers, even though she had been with my dad for over 2 years. I came to find myself always putting out fires. I seemed to be running in circles and not getting ahead. My days were filled with anxiety, worry, and sometimes despair. I always felt out of control. Every day I had to try to resolve problems with vendors that I owed money to. I always was short of cash, even though I kept the sales coming in. Also, I had to deal with customer complaints since we made many mistakes in invoicing, pricing, and mix-up with orders and delivery times. I did not know what was causing the problems, so I really could not fix them. I was working 65 to 70 hours per week and barely had time to see my son, and I would collapse into bed late at night just to try to get some sleep before the next day. I thought I would be better off selling the business. I discovered I couldn't sell it or borrow money for it because my books were a mess. I thought Betty was doing her best, but the books were not accurate, and she did not know how to correct the errors. To top it all, I got a notice from the IRS that they were going to audit the business for the previous year. I contacted the CPA my father had been using for the past few years, and he had informed me he would not really be able to help much since he did not do the books. Since he only prepared the taxes based on the information he received, he could not vouch for anything. This left me to fend for myself with the IRS. All this happened within the first 3 months after I took over the business. I was getting more and more behind with my vendors. They all informed me that they had been struggling with receiving payments almost since they had started working with my dad. During a visit to plead to get more time to pay with one of them, a man named John Bentley, I finally found the answer. He told me that he remembered me being at my dad's business when I was a little girl. He was there to collect, and when he saw my dad's face full of worry because he was going to get embarrassed in front of his little girl, he left. He told me how he had felt compassion for my dad since he had a little girl too, but he was also hurting because he was behind with his vendors. So he vowed he would not stay in this condition of merely day-to-day survival anymore. So he went on a quest searching to find the answers to solve his problems most small and mid-sized businesses have. He said he found the answers. He told me, "I will share this with you as I shared it with your dad." He did not listen. I hope you do. John said it all started with 2 books I read. One of them is called The E-Myth. The other is the 80-20 Principle. The E-Myth explained why so many businesses struggle and why so many fail. The reason is that the business owner works in the business, not on the business. What that means is that the business owner does one or more of the job that it takes to run the business. In essence, the business cannot run by itself, and so what the owner has is an underpaid job where he is overworked. The answer is to look at your business as a product you're working on and continuously improving. This will eventually result in your ability to leave for extended periods without the business being affected and with the business continuing to run smoothly without you. It will lead you to be in the top earners of small and medium-sized businesses, netting $365,000 or more per year. This is done by creating systems in marketing, finances, production, and management, just like well-running franchises. Franchises have a high success rate because everything has been broken down into systems, and everything is documented so everyone is always on the same page. The other book, The 80-20 Rule, explains that 20% of everything we do gives 80% of the results. So we should concentrate on the 20% that give us the 80%, not the 80% that gives us only 20% of the results we want. What he said next is what really excited me. However, before you start with that plan, you first need the right now plan. The how do I make sure I survive plan, the how do I eliminate the chaos plan, the how do I fix the immediate problems plan, the how do I do all this without spending any more money and having to commit more time plan. I was listening with my mouth and eyes wide open, nodding my head up and down. Yes, yes! I could hardly wait for what he was going to tell me. He continued, "You must understand that everything that happens in business creates a piece of paper within 30 seconds. Someone calls you and you reach for a message pad or an order form. A sale is made and an invoice or a receipt has to be created. So the fastest way to eliminate the chaos is to get control of the paper monster, and to do this, you need to go paperless." He quickly added that there is a system that can allow you to do this easily and inexpensively in one day. Going paperless will immediately make you more organized and productive. The next and most important thing you need to do is contract out your bookkeeping and accounting functions. Most Fortune 500 companies have done this for decades by leveraging available inexpensive technology, and in the last 15 years, most small businesses have contracted out their payroll and tax preparation. Doing this with your bookkeeping and accounting is just the next logical step. It can be done for the same amount you are spending now or even less. What this will do is it will put you on the fast, real-time business cycle. It will put you in control. You will have clean, real numbers daily. If you don't measure something, you can't manage it or improve it. Also, the reverse is true. If you measure something, you can manage it. And if you can manage it, you can improve it. This is impossible with an in-house bookkeeper. The reasons are the business owner most of the time is unqualified to know if the person they're hiring is well trained to do their job and to supervise them. Most business owners hire based on the amount that they want to pay, and they get somebody that can do about 75% to 80% of what needs to be done to have clean, accurate books. They usually have an accountant that does the financials and taxes. However, this also does not solve the problem, since the accountant is also working with bad numbers because they do not do the books. The accountants are unable to help with budgets, tax planning, or anything that would really help the business because they do not have good, accurate numbers to work with. So there is always a fight between the accountant needing information and the business owner providing it. The business owner asks the bookkeeper for the books, but they are almost always incomplete or late. So we, the business owners, are on a treadmill, trapped, always fighting the battle with no control of our business. We can't borrow money, we can't get investors, and we can't sell the business because the first question we're asked when we look to borrow money is, "Let us see your financials." In addition, the government takes advantage of our chaos and comes and demands payment for taxes and penalties and interest. All because we are in chaos and have no control of our books. This lack of control always leads to cash shortages that affect everything from the ability to keep the lights on, to maintaining good employees, to keeping your vendors, and it even affects your family life, stress levels, and our health. Let me demonstrate how much easier the real-time business cycle works. The way the real-time business cycle works is at the end of your day, around 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., you scan all the paper that you generated that day that you want to keep. Invoices, checks, receipts, bank deposits, etc. During the evening, a whole team of people go to work for you. It begins with your documents being available for retrieval from your totally secure electronic filing cabinet. You eliminate all the clutter, the wasted time in searching for and retrieving any document. This process alone makes you more efficient and productive by being organized. The real-time business cycle includes a team of people consisting of data entry clerks, bookkeepers, accountants, and CPAs that work on your books and produce clean, accurate information for your business, daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly. The real-time business cycle works like this. Daily, we scan all documents generated during the day after 5 p.m., and by 9 a.m. the next day, I receive 5 reports. The key 5 performance indicators you must know to be in control of your business are: 1. Profit and loss, so you can answer the question, "Did I make money yesterday?" 2. Sales, so you can answer the question, "Were the sales profitable?" Here you are looking for gross profit margin to know who the 20% of your clients are that make up the 80% of your profit. 3. Accounts receivable, so you can answer the question, who owes you money and do you need to take action? We all know old accounts receivables 90 days past due or longer are very hard to collect. 4. Expenses, so you can answer the question, are they too high? You must be in control of what money leaves the business. 5. Cash on hand, so you can answer the question, do I have enough money for today's and tomorrow's needs? Weekly, I receive an email notifying me that my accounts payable for the week is ready for me. Using Bill Pay, I review the payments for accuracy, and I can either research the invoice for a bill if I'm not clear what it is, or by inputting my secret code, pay them with a simple click of my computer mouse. Monthly, I get a complete set of financials so I can start to identify business trends. Quarterly, I receive a complete set of enhanced financials that includes comparison of my company to the best in my industry using ratios. I review this with my CPA, and I get recommendations from him on actions that will benefit my business. Once you are in control of the numbers, it's a lot easier to manage the business's other aspects. Remember, if you measure something, you can manage it, and if you can manage it, you can improve it. Because I'm here today, you can see I followed John Bentley's advice. I did go paperless, and I went on to replace Betty with a team of accounting and business coaching professionals, as John Bentley had suggested. Surprisingly, I saved money by doing it. It was less than the $10 per hour that I was paying Betty. The greatest gain was my cash flow improved almost immediately. Within 4 months, I doubled my cash flow. John Bentley said the same thing had happened to him. He said that he realized that once you can see the score, that you can see what to concentrate on, that you make better decisions, and that being in control also lets you have a lot less stress. We know that when we are more relaxed, we actually perform better. Once the chaos was eliminated, I had a better opportunity to develop a compelling vision for my business, for all I wanted it to be, and to communicate that vision to my employees so they could buy into the vision, and to get them to help create a place we could all feel pride in. I went on to chart out the process in my business, a process that starts by breaking the things we do into the smallest part. In this way, I could see how everything worked and how each part could be improved on. In this example, you can see how I broke the internet marketing we were doing into its parts. Once I had identified the individual parts, I documented it. I was able to improve each part and to train everyone to do it the same way always, thereby turning the process into a system. The system was written down and taught so that my presence was not required to answer how I wanted something done. I did this for every part of the business, with the help and collaboration of my employees and vendors who all had a stake in our success. Now my business works just like a franchise. Everything runs on a system, and the people run the systems. Everything is documented, and I don't have to be there. I no longer have a job. I now have a business, a successful one. In the top earners of small and medium-sized businesses, I'm in control. I'm at peace. I feel fulfilled in being able to reach my goals and in being able to enjoy the fruits of my labor with my son and other loved ones. There is another part of this story. I shared this information with my brother. However, like my father before him, my brother Sam did not follow John Bentley's advice. Sam continued to do it just like my dad. Unfortunately, he had the same results. His business was struggling and fighting just to survive a tremendous, stressful position to be in. And this led to Sam having a life-threatening heart attack. Sam could not afford health insurance, so I was fortunate enough to have enough to cover over the hospital bill and the living expenses for him and his family while he recovered. I took over the failing business and was able to turn it around also. My brother is recovering steadily, and he now knows there is a better way. I invite all of you to join me in using the principles taught in the E-Myth series of books, as well as following the 80-20 rule, as thousands of others like me have done by using the real-time business cycle. Thank you.